Well, the Republican candidate for governor in California says it's just another example of the political class letting bad guys loose on the streets. Joining me now with live reaction, California gubernatorial candidate John Cox. And we want to let folks know that we have invited your Democratic counterpart, Gavin Newsom, to come. He's not here, but we're glad you're joining us. What do you make of this? Because, listen, supporters are saying judges will have discretion. This is not just a get-out-of-jail-free card, that there will be monitoring and that there will be an assessment.
You know, it's another example, Shannon, of the political class in Sacramento that's pretty clueless, along with my opponent, Mr. Newsom. I don't think there's a great hue and cry to let a bunch of bad guys onto the street. I mean, as if life in California isn't difficult enough already, with the highest cost of living, the highest taxes, homeless all over the street. Now we're going to let a bunch of people out on the street. And, of course, Shannon, this was all about replacing a private bail bonds business with government workers, because God knows we need more government workers in California.
Well, what do you make, though, of the claims that this has been an issue of racial disparity, and it's really been an economic issue as well, that poorer people who don't have the funds to bond themselves out until trial get stuck behind bars, and it shouldn't be about economics, whether you're free or not?
Well, let's face it, there has not been an epidemic of wealthy people committing a whole bunch of crimes in the state. I mean, if people commit crimes, and they're a danger to the public, they shouldn't be out on the street. And the bond system is intended to make sure that if they do get out of jail and they are out on the street, that they'll be made to come back in, because their parents' house will be put up and other assets will be put up. And I think this is a red herring to make it seem like it's something that's going to cure a racial disparity or an income disparity. It's about government workers.
Interesting that the ACLU was originally behind this idea when the finished bill was something that they could not support and said they think it's potentially going to lead to worse problems. Now let's talk about this issue of universal health care. A lot of folks on the left are talking about this now, and your opponent there in California is talking about it. And it's not just for California legal citizens and residents. He says it's also for illegal immigrants. Here's what he said on a podcast.
Yep.
I did universal health care when I was mayor, fully implemented, regardless of pre-existing condition ability to pay, and regardless of your immigration status. San Francisco is the only universal health care plan for all undocumented residents in America. I'm very proud of that, and we proved it can be done without bankrupting the city. I'd like to see that we can extend that to the rest of the state.
To voters out there making that pitch, I mean, it sounds like no strings attached.
Well, it sounds like it's a free lunch. I mean, that's Gavin Newsom trying to buy votes and turn California into the Venezuela of America. I don't think people want that, Shannon, at all. People in this state, the working Californians, the forgotten Californians, the people that Gavin Newsom walks over, they're having so much trouble making it in the state. The housing costs, the gasoline costs, and now they're being made to pay for illegal aliens' health care, people who cut in line. I just don't think that there's an overall hue and cry in this state for that. Gavin Newsom and the political class are just clueless about what life is like in this golden state. They have made it so expensive, and now they're going to open up the taxpayers' wallets to give free health care to people. It's not going to fly. Vermont, the liberal state of Vermont, the home of Bernie Sanders, rejected this as unaffordable, and I think the voters are going to reject this as well as Gavin Newsom.
Well, there's so much else that we could talk about. Immigration, your critics say that you're not doing interviews on it, that you want to have it both ways and say, you're going to say that you are with the president, but you don't want to rile up California voters in there. We're out of time just about, but can you give us a sentence on where you are on immigration?
Well, I'm a Jack Kemp Republican. I want more immigration to this state and to this country, but I want it to be legal. I don't want it to be people that are cutting in line. But we've got to get a solution to this. We've got to get E-Verify, a guest worker program. We've got to make it so that we have a solution to the DACA problem. The politicians like Gavin Newsom don't want to solve the problem. I'm a businessman, Shannon. I want to deliver results, and I want to solve the problem.
Well, there are no easy answers, and I know that you think one of those potential solutions could be jail time for CEOs at companies that hire people illegally. So come back soon, and maybe your counterpart, Mr. Newsom, will come on as well. He's invited, and we'd love to continue talking to you. Thank you so much.
Love it.